This was different. The great Connor McDavid, the heartbeat of the Oilers, stood at center ice with tears in his eyes. Nobody could believe what they were seeing. Was this really the end? Rumors had been swirling for weeks. Trade talks, injuries, personal struggles, but no one imagined it would come to this. McDavid, the face of the franchise, the pride of Canada, was about to deliver the words that would break the hearts of millions of hockey fans across North America. The crowd chanted his name, hoping somehow to stop what was coming. Please like, share, and subscribe for more NHL content. The camera zoomed in on his face. You could see it, the pain, the emotion, the disbelief. Connor McDavid wasn't just saying goodbye to a team. He was saying goodbye to an entire era. Reporters had sensed something was wrong all week. He'd been quiet, distant, missing media sessions, skipping practice. But nobody thought it meant this. As he took the microphone, the crowd fell completely silent. This isn't easy, he began, his voice cracking. But it's time for me to step away. Gasps rippled through the arena. Some fans cried. Others simply shook their heads in disbelief. Connor McDavid, the man who carried a city on his back, was done. The moment felt surreal. This was the kid who had been called the next one, the prodigy who resurrected Edmonton hockey, the unstoppable force who turned highlight reels into art. And now, in front of thousands, he was walking away from the game that defined his life. No one knew the real reason. At least, not yet. Some whispered about burnout. Others hinted at deeper personal struggles. Insiders said he'd been fighting through injuries worse than anyone realized. But one thing was clear, the look in his eyes wasn't defeat. It was exhaustion. A quiet, heavy kind of tired that no amount of ice time could fix. Fans in the stands began chanting again, "One more year. One more year," their voices trembling with emotion. McDavid smiled faintly, as if he wanted to, but couldn't. You could see him fighting tears as his teammates skated toward him, one by one, offering hugs, taps on the helmet, and words that no mic could capture. Then Leon Draisaitl approached. His closest teammate, his brother in arms for nearly a decade. They didn't say a word, just embraced, both of them crying. It was a moment that said everything about what they'd built together, and how much it hurt to let it go. The Oilers organization released a statement moments later confirming what no one wanted to read. Connor McDavid was taking an indefinite leave from hockey. Not a trade. Not a suspension. Just, gone. Fans online exploded with heartbreak and confusion. This can't be real, one comment read. Hockey without McDavid isn't hockey. Within hours, every major network had gone live with emergency coverage. Analysts speculated, former players offered their takes, and fans filled social media with memories of his most unforgettable plays. The McDavid goodbye quickly became one of the most watched moments in NHL history. Then came the bombshell revelation. Sources close to the team revealed that McDavid had been dealing with a chronic injury for months, one that had worsened after the playoffs. Doctors reportedly warned him that continuing could risk permanent damage. Suddenly, everything made sense. This wasn't about quitting. It was about survival. When that news broke, the tone shifted. The anger faded. The sympathy grew. Fans began flooding his Instagram with messages of love and support. Former teammates spoke out, calling him one of the toughest players they'd ever seen. Even Wayne Gretzky went on record saying, "Connor made the hardest decision any athlete can make, protecting his future." The following morning, McDavid released an emotional video. Sitting at home in a hoodie, his voice low and shaky, he said, "Hockey's given me everything. But for now, I need to focus on getting healthy, physically and mentally. I'm not sure what's next, but I'm grateful for every moment." You could feel every word. It wasn't a retirement, not officially, but it felt like one. NHL fans everywhere mourned as if the game itself had lost a piece of its soul. Young players who grew up idolizing McDavid posted tributes, calling him their inspiration. The league even paused before the next night's games for a moment of recognition. In Edmonton, fans gathered outside Rogers Place, leaving flowers, letters, and Oilers jerseys by the main entrance. It looked like a memorial, not for a life lost, but for an era that had ended too soon. "Thank you, Connor," one sign read. Come back when you're ready. Meanwhile, NHL executives scrambled behind the scenes. The league knew how important McDavid was, not just to Edmonton, but to hockey itself. Rumors began circulating that he might return as a mentor, a coach, or even an ambassador. But McDavid's camp stayed silent. He needed time. Weeks passed. The hockey world moved on, sort of. But every time an Oilers highlight played, every time a game ended in overtime, fans couldn't help but wonder, what if McDavid was still out there? What if this wasn't really goodbye? And then came one more twist. Late one night, McDavid was spotted back at the rink, alone, skating under dim lights, just him and the sound of his blades carving the ice. Someone filmed it. The clip went viral instantly. Fans went wild with hope. Was he planning a comeback? Or was it just closure? The truth remains unclear. But one thing's certain, Connor McDavid's story isn't finished. Whether it's next season, next year, or years from now, fans will always wait for the moment he returns to the ice. Because legends don't just fade away, they rest, rebuild, and rise again. And when he does, it won't just be another game. It'll be a resurrection. The comeback the hockey world never stopped believing in. Until then, one question haunts every fan across the US and Canada. Was this really the final skate of Connor McDavid, or just the calm before his greatest comeback ever?